Yo, 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 welcome to another edition of the Geeky Bros podcast. I'm your boy Tactix. It's just Darcy.
I'm not gonna lie, it threw me off a little bit. This is Big Geek Umar, and losing our boy Darcy tonight kind of like threw off my game in terms of my introduction.
Yeah, Darcy's actually on a date right now with his missus. So yeah, it's he's celebrating Valentine's Day early. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Oh no, sorry, not even Valentine's. It's
no,
their
no,
anniversary.
yeah,
Anniversary.
yeah,
My bad.
yeah.
My bad.
So we wish our bro all the best with his lady, and yeah, you're stuck with the two of us, and we will try to do our best to keep you entertained.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so what's on the actually before you get to the actual agenda,
Okay.
did you hear about this new prequel novel of the Batman? I know it kind of jogged my memory because we were talking about the Batman off air, but apparently there's a prequel novel that I don't think it's mandatory that you read it before going into the movie, but it kind of gives a lot of backstory because as as we know, or maybe you don't know, the Batman the movie actually takes place in year two of
hmm
Batman's
hmm
crime fighting ventures and whatnot. So the prequel, I believe, is him in year one, and it kind of goes back and forth, kind of fleshes out his origin story a little bit. Um, and yeah, have you heard about this?
I heard of it. I don't know much about it, to be honest. I thought it was a comic book. I didn't know it was a novel.
Yeah, well, I don't know if it says an original
That's
movie.
definitely a novel.
Okay, okay. So
Yeah.
what the hell is going on
I,
here?
I I tend to not really like take these sorts of things into account because like I want to judge the movie for itself,
Right.
and especially something like this where it's like we're coming into something new, and like I want to judge it completely based on its own merits. Like if this was an adaptation, that would be different. Like I would be interested. But even
Mhm.
I've learned like watching Lord of the Ring, reading Lord of the Rings, reading Harry Potter, all that.
Mhm.
Like when I read things and then I watch the adaptation, there's a fairly good chance I'm going to be disappointed on some levels, if not entirely.
Mhm.
So with this, I'm just like, I do not want more things working against me for this film. I want to go in and see and check it out on its own merit and see if it's something that I'm going to be happy about. And yeah, it's just like I also this is more something I would want to do like later on, like get some background reading sort
Mhm.
of thing. This isn't exactly me wanting to watch this or sorry, read this and then watch the film. How
Mhm.
about you though?
Well, I was curious because I know that going in, we're not going to get a lot of the backstory. There's going to be stuff that's probably alluded to.
hmm
So I didn't actually check out the novel. There's actually an audio book version of it as well if you want to listen to it. But I'm subscribed to there's one YouTuber, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he basically kind of gave a rundown of the entire novel. And like I just kind of it was his video was like 24 minutes or something like that. So I just kind of watched majority of that just to kind of get a backstory of what the novel pertains to.
hmm
So then going in, I kind of have a general idea of the direction that they're heading into without it spoiling anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you well, do you want to tell us what the novel has to say generally?
Yeah, so generally, so it kind of
Spoiler
goes back
warning.
and forth. Yeah, spoiler warning for anyone who doesn't want to know about the backstory of this, but it goes into the a little bit of the origin story of Bruce Wayne, which we've seen at nauseum. But basically, excuse me, Martha and Thomas Wayne, they actually they actually donate the Wayne Manor to an orphan. They actually turn it into an orphanage, and then they end up moving into Wayne Tower. And one of the orphans that are in the orphanage that used to be Wayne Manor is actually the Riddler, and he has kind of this chip on his shoulder because they basically leave all like the photos of the Waynes in the manor as like a reminder of like, you know, like these are the people that provided this opportunity for you guys to live here right? These are the people that are responsible. And so the Riddler kind of has a chip on his shoulder because every day when he walks in the front door, he sees Bruce Wayne and his family, and like he's like kind of envious of the fact that Bruce Wayne he got a chance to live this lavish lifestyle while he kind of was abandoned by his own original family. And in this iteration of the Batman, Alfred, they're taking they're they're going in the direction of Alfred from his like he's like an ex what is it?
Military?
Yeah, military guy. And so he is a
Ex
big part
MI5?
MI5, yes. So he is a big part of Bruce Wayne's training. Not the only part, because actually like they in the novel they actually highlight the fact that Bruce he went off to private school
Mm-hmm.
to a private school, but then he got bored midway through, and then he got really invested into like science. Like science was his favorite subject, and so he would go to like the top school. He would transfer from school to school, and like he would basically enroll himself in like different subjects, but like go to schools that offer like the top tier
Of those subjects.
of those subjects, right? And so this allowed him to kind of travel around the world, and due to his influence and his training with Alfred, he got really intrigued in learning like martial arts. So every time he went to a different country, he would basically learn that country's martial art while he was in school. And so that's kind of how he like started to develop all of these different skills and stuff. And so um yeah, it basically it kind of fleshes out a lot of that stuff, his travels like throughout his year one. And then the fact that they touch on the Batmobile and how he soups it up. Like he finds like an old school Dodge Charger or something like that, and he he basically strips it apart and builds it from scratch. And like his whole passion project is him just trying to make this charger like the best that it can be. Like, and he's like constantly he's using all of his resources to kind of build this up. So I think they're going to use that as the groundwork for him to like evolve that charger into the Batmobile that we all know and love, kind of thing, right? Because it kind of just looks like a souped up, but like a regular car, right? Like something you'd probably see like in like the next Fast 10 movie or something like that, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. And then they highlight the Riddler and like how he was kind of a loner, he was an outcast, and then he got really into I think it was something like something to do with like politics or something like that. And then he got a job not in politics, but something pertaining to that. And then during his time there, he got exposed to a lot of the corruption, and then this kind of furthered his anger, and it's kind of like the catalyst for why he's doing what he's doing and going after the politicians, like we've seen in the trailer. So it kind of just sets up both Bruce Wayne and Edward Riddler, yes, whole arc basically. So yeah, that's kind of it in a nutshell. Like not a whole lot happens. It's just more a lot of backstory and filler and stuff like that. But it was interesting. I found it really fascinating to see what direction they're going with this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Interesting. I would say like most of that I kind of assumed. I would say the only thing I didn't assume is the orphanage part.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, again, I don't feel like this is a mandatory thing that people need to indulge in to get the idea of. Yeah, but I think if they just kind of want some extra, and I think this is great. I think this shows that there's a lot of confidence being put into this movie, right? Like
one hopes.
Well, I mean, to go through all of this just to kind of, I mean, it shows the amount of promotion that they're putting into this movie, and I feel it makes me a lot more confident going into this movie. I'm hoping I'm not completely destroyed at the end, but yeah, I'm excited for this movie. I like where they're headed, and it sounds like it's going to be a really interesting and unique film. So I'm looking forward to it.
I am still maintaining my high level of skepticism to survive, because while you'll be hurt by this film, my entire interior psyche will collapse if this is bad.
You know what? I would normally agree with you, but I feel like I've always recovered from the damage that's been done prior.
I'm still
So
bitter over like Man of Steel, man.
yeah, okay, yeah. See, so I don't have as much disdain for Man of Steel as you do. I granted it's not the best. It's not the best Superman, but there's a lot of great stuff in there that I've been dying to see from a Superman movie. Like the fighting, like the action scenes, like the fighting and stuff. Like we never really got that in Christopher Reeves's iteration
Okay,
of Superman.
let,
And granted the technology wasn't there.
yeah,
So
I'm like, you're
it's not his fault. I'm not saying that he's super like Christopher Reeves is like he's like the Batman. He's like the Michael Keaton of Batman. Like those guys are like they set a high standard
they
for.
tried in Superman 2.
Yeah, but okay. The thing is, the technology wasn't there for us
It,
to see the type of action that we wanted or that we might have been used to from reading the comic books, right?
right.
Man of Steel gave us that, but then
Characterization.
it lacked the characterization of Superman and Clark Kent, right? I don't feel like there was enough of a
There was
dichotomy
no
between.
Clark Kent.
Yeah, so I think they dropped the ball on that, but it won me over just on the action level alone. But the storyline was kind of like up and down. It was so hard. It was clunky. It wasn't. It didn't come together as cohesive as I would have liked it to. But
It straight up didn't make sense at a certain point.
no, it didn't. But the Zack Snyder Justice League, and again, I think based off of all the shit that happened around the movie, around just the whole franchise, I think the way that they ended that off, I was satisfied. Put it this way, it was like I was hungry for something. They gave they gave me something to like satisfy that hunger, but it's not something that I would like be like, oh, I gotta go and have that dish again. You know what I mean? Like
It was edible.
it was edible. Yeah, it's like going to, and I don't you probably I don't think you eat lobster, so you probably won't get this reference. But it's like going to Red Lobster versus like an actual restaurant that is specifically catered to lobster. Like they're
I'm
known
not.
for like.
I'm not like Red Lobster's lobster. Like, while yes, I don't eat a lot of lobster. I will say that Red Lobster's lobster has to be on some level above edible. It's actually can be considered enjoyable, but to be like true
Yeah.
lobster, yeah, I would say Man of Steel is still at the just bare edible stage because they're like I tried rewatching that movie, and even before I got to the action sequences, I was having aneurysms. But when I actually got to the action sequences, I was like, and the characterization was the problem. If you're having a fight between two supermen, fine, that's cool. But it was Superman versus Zod, characters we know very well, and like the amount of destruction and death toll, and actually like straight up not caring about killing people and like people in the surrounding area. I'm like, come on, man. Like even in Smallville, the fight was that way. And I was like, come on, man.
See, okay, but the thing is though, like if we're gonna give Michael Keaton a pass for killing people, then we kind of have to let that other shit slide too.
Not necessarily, because with Michael Keaton, it was a reinvention of like first of all, it's the first time Batman was done on the main screen.
Mm-hmm.
Second of all, it like Tim Burton wasn't really going with the stereotypical Batman. He was actually reinventing Batman a little bit. He was kind of going the more Dark Knight Returns Batman Year One style, which wasn't as well known.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, it was Adam West, and it was like the Silver Age super, Batman and Robin.
Mm-hmm.
So like this was part of a revolutionization of. So according to a man takes me to Red Lobster, and he has my heart for life. Oh, look who joined.
The heck is this guy doing here? Yo, bro.
Yeah.
Aren't you supposed to be on a date right now?
So our man Darcy,
It's gonna be his last anniversary, yo.
our man Darcy has interrupted his own date with his woman to be like, but Umar, when you going to give Zack Snyder a pass for Batman killing, Okay, fair. That's a fair statement. Then again, Batman he wasn't. Oh no, actually no. Tim Burton definitely blew up an entire building full of goons in that one.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, that was ooh.
And
And also
Batman strapped a bomb to some dude and then like knocked him into a hole.
and laughed as he threw him
Yeah,
down. Though.
like reckless, man. No chill. So you kind of have to give Henry Cavill a pass, man.
No, I can't. No, because it was like it's like Batman destroying Gotham to save Gotham. Darcy's like, thought I'd slide in for 1 second while she does the makeup. LOL.
Yeah, but it's on different scales. Like Batman obviously couldn't do that much damage. You know what I mean?
Sorry, Courtney. I hope he's on a date at Red Lobster. Okay. What was I saying? Tim Burton. Yeah, he did. Tim Burton set the stage.
Mhm.
That's it. He set the stage. And also he was revolutionizing, or not revolutionizing, he was taking the Batman in a more serious direction, as opposed to this campy direction, which the comics had been doing.
Mhm.
So you saying Zach isn't that bad? Oh no, Zach's bad. Like, dude, the character, like, the story didn't make sense at times. Like, don't even get me started on Jonathan Kent. I'm not gonna pick a fight with you when you're on your anniversary, man. Anyway, so like, all I'm saying is Tim Burton gets a pass for like for starting the Batman film franchise.
I
And
just
and,
I
and
just feel like you're hating on Zach because of Sucker Punch, and I understand that.
I didn't watch Sucker Punch.
Oh, really? Interesting. Okay.
Should I?
No, 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 no. Don't watch it. Do yourself a favor and don't watch it. I mean, there's reasons to watch it as a man, you know. But other than that, like
Aren't they like young girls?
they're of age. Relax. They're like it's legal.
Oh,
Don't make this weird. Don't make it weird.
oh, I'm
trying to
sorry. I
trying to
made
get.
it weird.
I see what you're trying to get me canceled. You want to be the only one running this show tonight? Okay. But no, but like yeah, Sucker Punch is it's a bad film. I'll be straight up with you. It's terrible. Visually stunning. Just and I don't mean just because of the women. I just mean like the shots are very visually
No,
stunning, you
I
know?
know. Zack Snyder makes beautiful films. His
Yeah.
cinematography is awesome. Like I don't in, with Man of Steel, I don't entirely blame Zack Snyder because David Goyer definitely had his hand in that shit, and like fuck David Goyer. But like, it just got worse from there.
I can agree with that. Yeah. I
So
can
like,
agree.
and like you could say the same thing about Batman and Superman franchises with Christopher Reeve and Tim Burton, but those changed directors.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So with me, I would say that like Man of Steel, it made no sense. Like for like, especially at the time it came out. Oh, so Courtney says you have good taste. Sucker Punch is very pretty but super hollow. It's like eating a meal that's just full of empty calories.
Yeah, that's beautifully said. I agree with that 100%. That's pretty much what it was. Only saw it once. I have no interest to see it again.
All right, well, I'm just going to avoid that movie like the plague,
Yeah, good call.
or like COVID. So I I just feel that when Man of Steel came out, Zack Snyder should have known better. With Christopher Reeves and Michael Keaton, they were literally throwing rocks in the dark.
I agree because I don't know. I'm not too familiar with Christopher Reeve's like previous work, before he got the role of Superman, but I know
But
from
like
Michael
like the
Keaton.
film, like Richard Donner's film, and
Yeah,
also
yeah,
Tim Burton's film.
yeah. But I mean, like with Michael Keaton, like there was a low bar set, like low expectations for him because he was coming off of stand-up comedy.
Yeah,
And no one was going to take him serious. They're like, this guy is going to be our Batman. No thanks. And then look what he did with it. Right. So
yeah,
now there's a high standard that's been set by Christopher Reeves and Michael Keaton.
yeah.
I mean, with at least with some of the Batman stuff that we've gotten, the standard has been raised since
They
Michael
set
Keaton.
the standard,
Yeah. Yeah. So I think,
and then Marvel created another
yeah.
standard.
Yeah.
So that's why I can't forgive Zack Snyder and Man of Steel, because it's like you,
The thing
you
is,
not o- you
it's
not only
so hard though. Like, and so that's why I'm like, I like, because it's not like what's that dude's name? M. Night Shyamalan, where he just fucks everything up that he touches. Like Zack Snyder, he's got potential and he tried. So
I will give him that.
I give him credit, like because he was passionate about it. He just
Yes,
doesn't have
an understanding,
a good understanding of the characters. And
and
I think that's the issue.
and I completely agree. And like, I mean, okay, we'll get to this later on in the podcast, but look at Superman and Lois.
Mm-hmm.
Say what you want about that show. It has got CW weeds all over that shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But the one thing that this show does, they get Superman and Clark Kent right.
Yeah. I agree with that.
And at this stage, like especially with like the Disney shows and like and the Disney and like sorry the Marvel shows, the Marvel
Mm-hmm.
movies, and like all the DC failed attempts and all the Arrowverse like crap.
Yeah.
At this stage, for these guys to be making, like for Zack Snyder and for like everyone else to be making this level of mistakes is, I can't give them as much of a free pass.
It's hard, bro. I don't think you know. I don't think you understand how hard it is to make a good superhero film. Like it's like
Fair enough.
in this day and age right now, where we're at, like, I don't even want to say we're at the pinnacle, but like look at what we've gotten. Think of like
No.
X-Men and like Spider-Man to like the movies we have now, where like
Oh
some of
man.
these movies are being contenders for Oscar nominations. You know what I mean? Like, who would have thought we'd ever get there? Did you ever think that when we first got Batman 89 that anyone was gonna even have that in the conversation of like, oh yeah, this could possibly be an Oscar worthy film?
Okay.
Absolutely not.
No, like I thought Batman '89 was some pretty solid stuff.
Mm-hmm.
As I got older, I'm like, yo, we need to update that. And I was like, I don't think they can, because like they keep failing. I mean, like all of the 2000s, pretty like early 2000s, like okay, granted, Spider-Man, like I was too young and naive, and I'm like, yo, this is the shit. Now I'm just like, oh shit. But like we got the Dark Knight,
Yeah.
and okay, I can understand a studio's and Zack Snyder and David Goyer's point of view of, hey, let's do a Superman like the Dark Knight. I can understand that, and I was even behind that, and even
Mm-hmm.
the trailers gave that impression that this is going to be at that level.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, and like it's just like they didn't understand the character. Christopher Nolan did, and okay, leaving aside how talented Christopher Nolan is, and also like his writing staff. I mean, I, you can't leave that alone too much, because that's like inherently in the point. But Zack Snyder, just he had the wrong team. He had the passion, but
Mm-hmm.
and the eye,
Mm-hmm.
but he had the wrong team and the wrong view.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. I want to get your opinion on this, or your perspective. Do you think, because when we take Christopher Nolan and we observe what he did with Batman Begins and more predominantly with The Dark Knight, I felt like his approach was, okay, I understand that this is a comic book property, but I'm not setting out to make a comic book film. I'm setting out to make
Film.
a film like that has comic book characters in it. Whereas I
Yes.
think Zack Snyder had that reverse. He was like, I'm making a comic book I'm making a like a movie of like comic book characters.
Zack Snyder was like, I want to make a cool comic book
Yeah,
movie,
yeah, but
and
there was no.
that was his problem
Yeah.
because he was trying to do I've said this before. He's like a jock
Hmm.
who read a couple comic books and thinks, "Oh man, it would be so cool if Superman killed people," and I'm just
Hmm.
like. I appreciate that you are into this like this stuff, but like, dude, that's not how it goes.
Yeah.
And so in terms of your question with Christopher Nolan, like I would say Christopher Nolan did 2 films of him trying to ground Batman,
Hmm.
and then in the third one, he was just like, I'm just gonna throw all my geeky knowledge in this last final film.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
there was
Well,
like
I mean, granted, because I think he had plans for Heath Ledger showing up again, right? So once that happened, to be honest, I feel like he ran out of steam at that point because like he had a
probably had to
plan.
rework a whole bunch of
He had to
stuff. Yeah,
rework a lot of stuff, and it probably didn't feel right to him anymore. I probably would have gotten fucked up if that happened. Like if I enjoyed working with like an actor so closely, because like look at like Christopher Nolan has a tendency to like work
reuse
with
people.
reuse people, right? Like he's worked with Leo so many times.
Look at Michael Caine.
Michael Caine is like in every every movie he's in, right? So I think once he gets close to somebody and then to have something such so tragic happen, I feel like that kind of derailed him a little bit, and he kind of was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna do this film just to do it, but my heart's no
Also,
longer in it anymore. So and I think that's the problem they're having right now with Black Panther and the whole Wakanda movie.
I don't know about Black Panther because, like, to be honest, I think like well, no, actually, that he was central, and like that could be where the debate is coming from. It's like, does the show go on, or do we like pay our respects by not replacing him?
And that's
Which,
a tough call to make, man.
and to be honest, I like before I was like, don't recast him, and also like because I wanted to continue the progressive movement by having like Black Panther be a female now,
Hmm.
but like I mean, certain people have made some really good points. I'm like, don't take away like the few characters we have, and like I gotta say, like when people brought up the fact that Chadwick Boseman wouldn't have wanted the character to quote unquote die with him, I'm
Hmm.
like, oh shit, that's a really good point.
So the thing is, and again, I was kind of on the side of recast him because it's like Chadwick. I know he understood that this movie is bigger than him. It's
Yeah,
bigger than him. It evokes a very powerful message, and I even saw a post of it. It's one of those new Pixar movies that just came out, and
Encanto.
yeah, I think it was one of those, and like the kid who like they were watching. He was watching the movie with his mom, and like the mom is like filming the kid watching the movie, and then he turns to his mom and he's like, "Look, mom, it's me," and it just shows like the representation, right? And it's just like back in our day, like when we were young, like we didn't have that, right? Like Michael,
No,
like Batman is my favorite superhero, but I mean, there's a lot of reasons. There's a lot of reasons why that is, but one of the main reasons is like I didn't have any other. I didn't have superheroes that looked like me to look up to. You know what I mean? Like you didn't have it. Like you're now getting it like soon in a TV series. But aside
I
from
had
that,
Aladdin.
you had well, yeah, you had Aladdin. Like that's it, bro. Like
Literally, that's all I had.
that's it, man.
Like not
And
even a
how long
superhero
ago was
character.
Aladdin?
I only like character alone. I just had Aladdin.
But I'm not gonna. Aladdin's pretty dope though. I'm not gonna lie, like
I don't got those apps.
well, hey, that's not Aladdin's problem.
Yeah. But no, I hear what you're saying, and like you're right because like Chadwick, he literally, well, I wouldn't say it, he put himself through so much
Yeah,
because it was so important,
right.
and like
But
and even in like Star Wars Rogue One,
mhm.
like we had oh my god, I'm blanking on his name right now. Um, oh,
Donnie Yen.
no, it's the other main guy. Hold on, I'm gonna look it up because it's driving me crazy. It's kind of like
Mm.
the main point I was trying to make. Uh, he's getting his own TV series as well. It's
You lost me at Star Wars.
oh, okay, Cassian Andor. He is one of the main actors in it, and he has a or a Latin American accent.
Don't remember.
No, that's fine. The main thing is people have been amazed with the fact that they like a Latin American with an accent was the main character in a Star Wars film.
Yeah.
And so that mattered to people.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's
Yeah.
kind of like what you're saying about like that kid being like, "Hey, look, it's me."
Yeah. And that's now becoming a lot more prevalent, which is good. And I think we need to see a lot more of that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't even know how we got on this topic, but
About Batman.
yeah,
See,
yeah.
when we talk about Batman and Zack Snyder, this is when things
There
go
you
down
go.
a certain way.
There you go. But it makes for good content, so it's all
It
good.
does. It does. And this is all ad hoc too. This wasn't even part of the agenda.
Yeah.
All right. Well, moving on to our first topic of the evening.
After 30 minutes in.
Well, nonetheless, we are having one of our most favored segments, the touch base with Tactix. Now, Tactix has been known to take his time to watch things, especially when it is something like anime. Now, we did an earlier show where Darcy and I reviewed the Demon Slayer movie Mugen Train, and Tactix had not watched it. Well, also, actually, no. Also, he found some time and actually caught up in My Hero Academia season 5 as well.
I had good motivation. Let's just say.
I bribed him with dinner. Essentially, is what happened. Like I was like, dude, if you don't want to pay for dinner, just watch this by podcast time.
And
And he
that
was like,
Chipotle was the best Chipotle I ever had. I'm just saying.
you
Just
got a lot,
saying.
and also don't forget the chips with guac.
Oh, the chips were bomb. But anyway, yeah, proceed.
Anyway, so I bribed him, and he's now caught up. And I know what you all are saying. Yes, I will continue to bribe him if necessary. Anyway, so T, a year later, I have to ask. Firstly, what did you think of Demon Slayer Mugen Train? Oh, and FYI, spoiler warnings for anyone who hasn't watched Mugen
I
Train.
think
So
I'm the only one, so don't worry. I think if anyone watches anime on a regular, trust me, I think I'm the only one who has not seen this up until now. But to answer your question, I enjoyed it. I liked it. Demon Slayer is a great show. I've been enjoying it so far. It's very intriguing. The fights are really cool. The animation style is really unique, which I like.
Oh yeah.
The character development is really cool. I love the main character. The villains in this, like the actual train.
Enmu,
Yeah, and then the other dude who ended up killing this guy.
Akaza.
Yeah, dude, like, have we seen him before? Because I mean,
No.
so new.
First.
Okay, so he's a brand
Yeah.
new guy. So yeah, I was like, damn, this dude is fucked up. But that fight was sick. But and I'm. It seems like they're setting it up for like a rematch. I know you're further along in the show than I am, but not not a rematch between this, because this dude's obviously dead.
I was
But
like,
I mean,
oh.
I'm sorry, not a rematch. I meant like they're setting it up for
For Tanjiro and Akaza.
Tanjiro, yeah, to fight. Because I mean, he has his sword now, right? Because he threw his sword at him, right?
You need to keep watching because that doesn't play as much as you think it does.
Got you. Okay. All right. Well, yeah. I liked it. I liked the show. It was sad at the end. And yeah, it's just great. Great character development. I'm enjoying it so far.
Okay.
I'm pissed off because I again, and this is my fault because I watched dubbed, but like I was expecting it to continue after that, and Funimation only has a Train Saga in dubbed.
Are you serious?
Yeah, so I was like gonna continue watching it, and then it went back to season 1, and I was like, wait, why does this seem familiar? I feel like I watched this already, and then it's like, oh, okay. So yeah,
There's no way that's true.
Well, you can double check it and clarify that for me.
Sorry, everyone. Look. You all know what it's like for attack.
Yo,
Oh,
do it later, guy. We got a show to do.
son of a bitch! You're right.
Yeah, man.
Ah.
So yeah, but that's on me because I just can't watch sub. I definitely can't watch sub now because I'm in school. I'm looking at screens all day, fucking day. Like I can't do it, man. Like my vision has gone bad now. I'm not even joking. I think I need glasses now because of all the screen time I've been getting with school. So, um, yeah, I this is why I love dub. I'm sorry, I'm not a true anime fan. Clearly,
All right. Okay. Uh, what would you give this movie out of 10?
um, I'd give it an 8, a solid 8.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Okay. Now I'm
enjoyable.
gonna. Now I'm
Yo,
gonna.
so the fucked up part was the fact like he had to kill himself in his dream
That's what I was
every
gonna
time.
bring up.
I was like, holy! And then he almost like slit his throat for real. I was like, damn, that was a nice touch. I was like, damn, that's. See, this is the thing I like about anime. Like, obviously it has its campiness that kind of makes it fun and a little bit corny, but fun at the
Yeah.
same time. But the undertones and like the subject matter is so rich, and the places that they go with some of these things is so like it's so interesting, and it's got its own style. It's definitely something
Yes.
that is exclusive to anime. You won't see it in any other type of cartoon, no matter how gritty the cartoon is. And that's what I really appreciate about anime, and the fact that I honestly I should be a bigger anime fan than I am because like one of the parts, and like you and Darcy probably glossed over. Actually, no, I think this is probably what Darcy alluded to when he said I was really gonna like this. But there was a scene
Of the
where,
subconscious.
well, yeah, there was that really got me. But it was even more simple than that. It was after they had defeated the train, and Tanjiro, obviously he was stabbed, so he was
Yeah.
injured, and then this guy, what's his name again? The
Rengoku.
Ren Rengoku
Rengoku.
Rengoku. He said, "Okay, focus your attention on your injury. See the blood vessels, the damaged vessels in your mind, and try your best to like patch them up." And I'm like, for anyone who's listening or watching, I've been doing a lot of deep diving into Joe Dispenza's work, and he's like a chiropractor who's kind of merged science and quantum physics together to explain like the scientific world in the spiritual world in a scientific way, right?
Mm.
And so he speaks a lot to this because actually a quick story of Joe Dispenza, he um on his pastime, he's a cyclist, right? So he was cycling one day, and then he got hit by a truck, and the doctor said that he'd have to have surgery, but even then, with the surgery, he would never be able to walk fully again. And so he, did a deep dive into like spirituality, like he went and saw shamans and like yogic healers and all this stuff, and he started to kind of learn a lot of the spiritual aspects of healing and chi and all that stuff. And so
Yeah.
he was actually able to, with focused intention, heal himself with no surgery. So like when I watch anime and I hear them or see them talking about like chi and harnessing your energy to heal or like do all these extravagant and amazing things, it always fascinates me because it's a rama. Like even though like you're watching this and you're like, oh, this is all just fantasy bullshit, right? But it's like the writers are actually taking from real world aspects, and they're turning it, like they're making it into an anime. But it's a reminder for me that like, yo, this shit is actually possible. Well, not all of it obviously, but to a
It
certain
can be
extent
possible.
some
Yeah.
of it is possible. So that's really interesting for me.
Interesting. I honestly, I thought the subconscious aspect would be your biggest draw.
Well, yeah, that too. I mean, I've been doing a lot of research into the conscious and subconscious mind. So that was interesting to me. But it was really the healing aspect that really got to me. That's the one that struck me the most. So.
So Courtney says, "So glad to hear you like the movie. It was just really fun film to watch."
Yeah, it was just fun. Yeah, I wasn't really expecting anything other than that. So
Okay, now I need to ask a little bit, like when the fight started at the end,
mhm.
like oh man, like fuck this guy. This guy was weird, and also as much as I love Tanjiro, I love the fact that his subconscious is a serene, like beautiful place.
Mhm.
The fact that his subconscious like walked a person wanting to kill him
Mhm.
to where to kill him, I was like,
Yeah,
oh honey, no.
yeah. It was cool though, man. I love the element of it.
Yeah, and also like this guy is messed up.
Yeah. I mean, they're all the demons have their own little weird quirks, right? So,
Okay, so now I need to ask the ending fight scene.
mhm.
Were you like struggling to keep up watching, or were you just kind of like, oh, okay, whatever?
No, I was engaged because I was like, I don't think this dude is gonna be like a main character going forward. But are they gonna kill him off this early in the game?
Yeah.
But then again, I remember that it was because I watched it as episodically. I didn't watch it as a full movie, so I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
I remember that it was it's a movie, so maybe it's not canon, or maybe um, I mean, they could definitely get away with killing him off early and then have that be a catalyst for something else. Uh, so I wasn't really expecting him to stick around after that, but yeah, that fight was intense. Like I enjoyed it. I was invested in it. So I thought the other guys were gonna jump in and get involved, but I guess they had taken too much damage and they're probably not on they're definitely not on that level. If this dude couldn't even take him out, then
I was a little annoyed that Inosuke just like stood there when like he's literally holding him in place, and like Tanjiro was like, "Dude, kill him."
yeah. Well, I mean, they're still inexperienced, right? Like, I mean, they still have a lot of experience, but not. I don't think to this level. Like,
Oh no, like they couldn't even follow his fight sequence.
nah, man. So
What did you think of Rengoku himself?
I thought he was cool. He was a little sketchy in the beginning. I thought he was. I was like, yo, is this guy gonna become a villain? Because like usually people that just show up randomly out of nowhere, their chances are they're probably a little bit sketch. So I didn't know about him. I thought he was. I thought once the other demon guys showed up at the end, they were gonna team up and try to take out the. I'm so bad with their names.
Tanjiro?
Tanjiro and his crew. I'm just gonna call him T, just like you call me T. I'm gonna call him T. So T and his crew. I thought that they were gonna have to like face off against this guy.
Interesting. Wow.
Yeah,
You don't trust anyone in the show because like you like even the leader of the demon corps, you were saying that like this guy's like the guy with like the messed up like scar.
because
on
look at his face, bro. Like he looks like I just don't trust. I don't know, man. And I know that's so bad of me to say. That's terrible. I would never say that in real life to a real person, but because it's anime, like, but it's just like he like
I'm not even trying to get you canceled, man.
I'm doing it all by myself. I should probably just stop. I'm just saying, like he just stands out to me, and I'm like, yo, there's more to that scar that meets the eye.
Well, yeah, I feel it's a curse
Uh, yeah, but why though?
because he probably fought Muzan.
Okay, yeah, that's a possibility. See, you went really optimistic with it, and I just went.
I just I'm just like this guy is a poor man who got taken out. You're like this guy is a sketch.
Yeah, I just went straight like judgmental on this dude. Oh man.
Oh,
But
I cannot wait for you to start the entertainment district arc.
yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. I mean, I had good momentum going, and then I just got stopped cold in my tracks. So I was like, all right.
Oh man, what?
We probably just ruined all of that for Ron, who she just came in.
Oh, I'm definitely behind. I have to watch it.
My bad.
It's so sweetie. At this point, like,
Oh.
yeah, moving. On. Okay, but
all right.
yeah, let's just moving on. Oh wait, Courtney has something to say. The characters in the series all feel like they have deeper personal motives for things. I feel like everyone is up to something.
Yeah, and like the main demon slayers, like the top tier guys.
The Hashiros?
Yeah, they're just dicks. They're like all of them are just assholes, man. So I don't really trust them either.
I would say like there's maybe like 4, 5. I'm gonna say 5 out of 9 are assholes.
They're all sketch to me, man. Fuck all of them, man. Fuck them all. You know I don't like cockiness, man. I can't stand it. So T is the only one that I'm repping right now.
What about Gio, the guy who helped protect his sister?
He's cool, but yo, he needs to kind of this dude, like, he's got. I don't understand how he's a demon slayer. Like, I get it. No, I get it. But at the same time, I'm like, bro, come on, man. You're just one of these days you're gonna get killed if you don't. I can't even say man up because he's like,
No. I think you're thinking of Zensu. Zensu's the redhead. Sorry, like the blonde haired dude, the scaredy cat.
yeah, that dude. Yeah, sorry.
I'm talking about Gio, the guy who met him in the first episode and actually told him to.
Oh, him. Okay. Yeah, sorry, my bad. See, I'm terrible with names. Yeah. Okay, he's a dick too. He comes off as a dick.
He's just quiet, man.
Then
again, it's hard to argue that because literally everyone doesn't like him.
Yeah, I mean,
literally everyone doesn't like him.
He's got to do more. He's got to do more for me to be on his side. It's always the quiet dudes you got to watch out for. They're always scheming. They're always up. I know I'm a quiet dude, so they're always up to something. I'm always. How many times have I gotten one over on you, bro?
Yeah, but that's because you're teasing. You not because you're trying to like.
Because I'm always up to something, yo. In my mind, you think I'm quiet? I'm just like thinking aims. No, I'm thinking of ways I can fuck with Umar. That's what I'm thinking of. I'm always plotting in my head, man. I always plotting. Don't trust the quiet guys.
You're projecting on the show, man.
Yeah, canceled. It's a good thing I don't have Twitter.
Oh, okay. Well. All right, we're all glad that you finally watched Mugen Train. I'm gonna hopefully get you on Crunchyroll to see if like they've got dubbed on there because like that would probably help. But who knows at this point? Because like, does it have to be dubbed?
Bro, I'm telling you, like Anatomy is kicking my ass right now, bro. I can't watch I can't look at another screen with words on it. I do that for 4 hours a day. Can't do it. I just can't.
Fine.
Can't do it, man.
Fine. I guess we'll have to wait. I'm going to be watching that like a hawk now. Like the first episode that gets like an English dub, and I'm just
do it. I'll be waiting. All
right. Moving on. Oh no. Actually, we have to go to the second part of your touch base, which is My Hero Academia season 5.
Season 5.
All right. So, season 5 had some really is what is called. Well, I would say like we did the first half of season 5 in the previous episode, but you haven't done the second half because you hadn't gotten to the part where it's my villain.
Yeah, I took my time with this one too.
Yeah, like this episode aired in November.
Yeah. And I just finished it yesterday.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. Anyway, so what did you think of season 5 of My Hero Academia?
So I'll be honest, I don't remember much of the first half of season 5.
To be honest, I'm struggling to remember.
It's all just kind of like a blur. I just remember I recall them doing like some sort of test. But aside from that, I don't think anything really.
Yeah, it was the matchups. Teams and matching up. Yeah,
nothing overly significant really happened with the heroes, so it kind of went out of my head.
Yeah,
the villain arc was very interesting, but again, most of it was kind of a blur in terms of things that were happening. I remember moments, but the biggest moment was with this dude here, hands on face dude. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna call him, hands on face dude. Because I don't remember.
On face dude?
Hands on face dude. I can remember that.
Shigaraki.
Hands on face dude. Okay. So yeah, his arc is like you get to understand why he became a villain. I mean, there was a level of manipulation that took place, but
There was a heavy level of manipulation on that one,
but
and also
aside
child abuse.
yeah, and but aside from that, I mean, his power is just messed up. It's
Yeah,
like think of Rogue, but like times a million. Like
yeah.
that's that's some sad shit.
No, like
And
yeah, like this is like he got a fucked up power.
yeah, yeah. So that was interesting. So okay, so is he kind of gonna be like the yin to or the yang to oh my gosh, why am I Deku's yin type
I
of
think
thing?
that's
Like
what
are
they're.
they
I think they're setting up for that. Like, because like the thing is
s-
like it's like the proteges are now in charge.
so that's gonna be interesting because right now, based off of how powerful hands on deck dude is, I don't yo, Deku's gonna get fucked up. Like if they fought right now, yo, I'm sorry. Like Deku better he better start training his ass off like 20 24/7 because he better not sleep at all because yo
He's at
I-
15% right now, and like, and also he just got those black whip things that he
y-
can't control.
yeah, no, there's definitely potential there. Like I'm curious to see what 100% looks like without it completely killing him. But
Yeah, 100% with
yo,
all the previous powers from all the
hands,
previous guys.
bro, hands on deck got them hands, yo.
He
And
doesn't even need the hands anymore.
anyhow he catches a bear hug on you, yo, you're finished. So yo, I don't know, man. I'm scared. I would be scared of this. Like even if I was All Might, I'd be scared of this dude.
Oh no. Like, okay, I gotta say the one thing about this season that like caught me off guard. Like, first of all, I love the fact that we got to see all the villains like upgrade, like basically advance their powers, especially the Blood Woman.
Yeah.
I always forget her name.
Yeah. See, you do it too. You do it
Well,
too.
there's like 70 characters in the show. I can't and
Exactly.
like, at least
Exactly.
at least I remember like the main ones.
You know what?
Like
Maybe honestly, maybe if I did do it subbed, I'd probably remember their names a little bit
no,
more.
because you
But
have to.
yeah, I'm like, wait, who was that again?
Like twice, for example, twice I loved his up like how they upped his power.
I'm sorry, who?
The guy who multiplies.
Oh, right. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, I
That's
got.
not even a hard name to remember.
I'm sorry, bro. I don't remember anyone's name, man, other than Deku and Bakugo. Bakugo. I still don't even remember Fire and Ice Guy, and that's like one of my favorite characters.
Todoroki, man.
Todoroki, yeah.
Todoroki.
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 yeah, it's gonna be a.
Jesus, man.
It'll be like 17 seasons, and I'm like still gonna be not knowing what their names are.
You could be like Fire and Ice.
Fire and Ice, hands on deck, dude.
Okay, I gotta say, so going back to Shigaraki's childhood. First of all, really child abuse for like the father, like no one was helping this kid. But I gotta say, the thing that actually chilled me the most, aside from the fact that he killed his family accidentally slash on purpose, was the fact that like yo, All for One is evil as fuck. He
Yeah.
took a child who literally accidentally killed his parents and twisted that to turn into like a pawn that would be hopelessly devoted to him and then kill like the world.
Mm-hmm.
That's fucked up.
Yeah. That's pretty messed up. And you're the most suggestible when you're that age.
Yes.
So this dude is all kinds of twisted. And it's
Yeah.
really unfortunate. So I'm wondering how this is all going to play out, if they're going to play the sympathy card and give him redemption and have him turn good, or are they going to just make him go all the way off the rails and just kill him off?
To be honest, like anime has a tendency of doing both. Like in Naruto, they definitely did both for like certain
Yeah.
characters. But like with Deku, I would see that Deku would probably feel bad for him and try to help him. And like he'll have to kill. It would be interesting if like Deku actually has to kill him at the very end of the series, and then that's when he like apologizes for being who he is.
Do you feel like that's a weakness? Because I mean, it's definitely very admirable. And it's part of the reason why I love both Deku and T. But do you do you do you believe that that's like a weakness that's gonna end up holding them back in any way?
Their empathy?
Their empathy, yeah, for especially for villains, like
I would say okay, for definitely not for Tanjiro. I think like Tanjiro, he can't be the main character and then become less empathetic. And also at this point, like, it's kind of difficult for him to like become like less empathetic given everything he's gone through. He literally watched his entire family get killed.
fair. But even in the Mugen Train saga,
Yeah,
um,
he was
you could
pissed,
yeah, there's a lot of rage there. So you like
but
that.
that was towards a demon. And even after like that guy, the spider guy, Rui,
Mm-hmm,
like he did some fucked up stuff to Tanjiro and to Nezuko,
mm-hmm,
and like Tanjiro was going full blast to kill him,
mm-hmm.
but at the end, even he showed mercy to this guy.
Yeah, but do you think there's going to be a limit to that where he gets pushed too far? Because I mean, he's not very well seasoned in demon slaying yet. So once your blade has seen enough blood, I mean that could do something to you psychologically.
Possibly, but like we, I would say the only one he would probably not show any mercy towards or empathy towards would be Muzan.
Michael Jackson, dude.
Yeah,
Um, got you, got you. That's very interesting. I well, yeah, because I mean
he was the first. He was the one who created everybody, and he's created this entire situation.
yeah.
Also, his subconscious kind of proved that he's pretty stable. And honestly, Courtney,
Right now. But
true.
I'm saying like if he's well seasoned and he's seen a lot of shit, like
But
how long
his empathy will probably grow with that because he has seen the pain.
fair, but I'd be curious to see if there's like a moment in time where he kind of loses that for a bit and has to find his way back. Similar to
That would be interesting.
I'm not super familiar with the how the comic book played out, but the last Ronin, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles
Oh
thing,
yeah,
right?
seeing Michelangelo being away.
Yeah, because he had the heart of gold. Like he was the lighthearted one, and then that kind of like having
Comes
all
back.
that loss made him jaded.
Yeah,
So
and crazy.
yeah, so it's like it'd be interesting to see if T goes down that road too.
So Courtney was saying Tanjiro is too pure to his core. I think, and I'm
One hundred
kind of in
percent,
agreement.
100%.
Agree with her. It would be an interesting aspect of his personality to like show him becoming jaded.
Yeah,
But I mean, he's only been a demon slayer for like a year.
that's the thing, and I would love to see him just have that internal struggle and like it kind of I would want them to kind of highlight what it is that makes him so pure. Like, what is it that what's the differentiation between him and somebody who actually goes off the rails and lets that dark side take over?
Well, going back to Shigaraki and Deku, I think that's what they're trying to show is like one kid who had no one helping him
Hmm.
and everyone working against him. Mine, like
Hmm.
I feel bad for his mom and like for his family because like they finally had enough with the abuse that he was suffering
Hmm.
and were going to take care of him, and that was when his power manifested and destroyed everything.
Mm.
And then like All for One just came in and made like you said at an impressionable traumatic time just messed with this child.
Yeah, it's like a
But
cult leader.
yeah, no, absolutely. And with Deku, he had his mom always
Mhm.
at his side, like always protect. Oh God, please don't kill his mom. I just have
I'm
a fear. If they kill his mom, I'll be broken.
I'm wondering where his dad is at.
There are so many theories that people think that All for One is his dad.
That would be so oh, that would be so messed up, but so good. Cause then it's like son against son type of thing.
An adopted son with the
Yeah.
actual son. That would make
Oh,
actually Shigaraki would hate Deku even more if that
yeah.
was true.
Yo, that's actually not a bad angle. Because then knowing all for one, he would probably use that to his advantage
Yeah,
to instill more drive and hatred into Hands on Deck. So man, yeah, I'm for that. I hope that pans out because that's interesting.
I don't know how I feel about it because having the villain to be the long lost father, it's a little overdone at this point.
Like a little too on the nose.
Yeah, but at the same time, like All for One is such a horrible character that he like literally keeping that in his pocket as a ploy, as like a way to like manipulate stuff, can actually be done in a really fresh way.
No, but bro, you know how fucked up that is because
Yeah, it's
all for
fucked
one,
up.
all for one, and one for all, or all might and all for one. They're rivals,
Yeah,
but they're all so all for one would be his real dad, and All
All Might.
Might is basically his guardian dad. And then it's just and then it's just like adopted son versus real son, like that. There's levels to that shit. Like that
No, no,
would just
agreed,
be
agreed.
like it's a little on the nose, but like the
But if they do it,
levels make it so.
yeah, like if they do it right, which if that's the case, they're actually doing it in a way that makes it fresh. It's like because
Oh
like you could
yeah,
be like, oh, of course, All for One turned out to be his long lost father. It's like, no, you don't understand. This was like layers of like
yeah,
fucking up this guy's life.
and and All for One's been planning this shit for like years too. And I think it was you that said you you either came up with a theory or you read somewhere that um All for One was responsible for Deku not being born with abilities.
But yeah, I don't believe that myself, but people have theorized that
Because
because the doctor who told him he didn't have power, had a quirk, is the doctor who's like currently experimenting on Shigaraki.
bro, the levels, the levels.
I mean, can you imagine a guy who literally like has sex with multiple women just to produce like kids so he could take their power for his own
Yeah.
and then just like toss them aside? He's like, yeah, you know what? I'm done.
Damn. Damn, damn, damn. That's a good one. I can't even lie. That is a good one. I'd be interested in seeing that actually.
Yo, I gotta say, Shigaraki, while like he's had like I feel actually bad for like this kid's backstory. Like this is a truly bad origin story.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, but like where he is right now as like king of the world with that massive army behind
Mhm.
him.
How are like there's something about Asian like Asian film, like anime, like how are they so good? Like how are they? I don't understand what like the
What they
Western.
have and we don't.
Yeah, I just don't. I'm like, why have we not cracked the code yet? Like, like I've been watching more and more like foreign films lately, and even just like foreign like TV series, like look at like Squid Games for example, right? Like
Yeah.
they're just so good, and it's just like we put out such shit sometimes. I'm like, I'm just like I don't get it. I just don't get it.
I mean, I've watched a couple of Korean dramas myself, and like, I mean, there's a lot of cheese and a lot of campiness there, and like a
Yeah,
lot,
yeah,
but
yeah,
and a lot of drama. But at the same time, like, like, I mean, I watched. It's called like Crash Landing on You, and it's like this like heiress accidentally goes from South Korea to North Korea, like in like a parachute,
yeah, yeah.
and literally has to like fake her way out of there by like convincing this North Korean soldier who actually has a heart of gold, who they fall in love with, but he has to like sneak her into South Korea. And I'm
Oh
just like,
man.
yo, that. Well, I guess we don't really have a North Korean, South Korean stuff here. It's like, yo, I need to smuggle you back to Canada. No one's gonna care. No one's
Yeah.
gonna care about that. It's like, oh, I'm sorry, I crossed the border. Where's your passport? I don't have my passport, but here's my driver's license. All right, go on through.
Yeah. Yeah,
So yeah,
true.
I see what you're saying, but
Yeah.
Courtney says you guys should have a Miyazaki film discussion day. Funny you should ask, because I have recently started getting Tactics and Darcy into Miyazaki because they have not watched. However, we have to wait for Darcy to come back for that one, so that will probably be our next podcast, where, or maybe the podcast after that, because like they're two. I'm basically trying to get them to watch Spirited Away and Princess Mononoke as their foray into the Miyazaki films. So they have currently watched Spirited Away, and we will discuss that at a later podcast. But yes, Courtney, I'm with you on that one.
He's been
Uh,
doing his homework.
yes, yes, and also bribing. And as you were saying in a previous situation, yes, I will be glad to bribe you to watch more animes that I'm watching. So basically, if anyone wants me to pay for their dinner, just watch what I want you to watch, and I will pay for your dinner.
I was gonna watch it, man.
Were you though?
I
Were you
was.
though?
I was. I was.
Because you watched two things
I,
in 1 week after I bought you dinner.
I was. I was. I was gonna watch it. I was.
Okay. Okay.
I was. I just wasn't rushing it. Is all.
Okay. Okay. Anyway, moving on. So our next topic of the night is having to do with our weekly coverage of the latest episodes of Superman and Lois. Now, episode 4 was released this week, and you know what? I'm gonna pass it to you, T. What did you think of episode 4?
It was all right. I'll give it a low 7.
I'm gonna give it a 6. There was a lot of CW in this one.
Yeah, I knew. I figured you were going that way because I'm starting to notice the little CW sprinkling into it, like yeah. especially the end. Like now, the dad is apparently like having an affair. Like it started to get a little bit CW cheese. And it seems like they're straying less away from the action and really turning this into like a TV drama type of thing, which I'm not all the way for. I mean, it started off strong. I still have hope for the show. And like you said, I love this guy as Superman and Clark because he just gets it. He knows what he's doing. He
Yes.
delivers. I like the Bizarro feel that they're going with right now. It's definitely way better than what they did in Smallville, I'll tell you that much. Yeah, aside from that, John, what else happened? Jonathan is now he's dosing with some kryptonite steroid.
They had the storyline of him going undercover and like coming up with like a sting operation, and they threw it away for like he's on drugs. Let's talk about drugs this season.
I figured they were gonna go that route rather than making it really cool. So yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. John Henry is now currently in the hospital.
He's in a coma.
He's in a coma because his suit took a beating by Bizarro over here. So
my man, he pulled out a hammer and took out Bizarro with one shot.
Yeah, and then the hammer broke, and then it's the end of that chapter. Oh, and they killed off Superior Negro off air.
I mean, the agent's still alive. The agent's still alive.
He made it out unscathed, but yeah, the girl and Superior Negro, he's done. He's done. He's gone. Yeah. No more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the black dude did die first in this, and also the blonde woman.
And he took a blonde with him.
I'm just saying, they didn't have no brown people here. At least the Asian survived.
The Asian survived, and he took off, yo. He took off.
I'd be like, fuck this shit.
Yeah. This is way out of your league, bro.
Yeah. Okay. I will say I'm really disappointed with the way they're doing the whole Lois Lane storyline. Because at first, like the beginning of the episode, when she's like talking with this like cult leader girl, I was like, okay, this is Lois Lane I'm liking. Like she's taking on a cult leader. That's awesome. And she's having to deal with like a recanting of a storyline. That's awesome. But then they undercutted her entire intelligence by making her be lying the whole time, by making her fall very easily for a trick from her sister. But you can argue that a little bit. But then thirdly, that she was keeping secrets and actually like compromised her story for the sake of saving her sister. I was like, yo guys, that's not Lois Lane. Don't do that. Don't cut her legs underneath her just like for the sake of the story. Like she's supposed to be someone who takes on these people and is able to get like the info out. If you want to have a situation of a recanting of basically that her sister got reprogrammed, and then therefore is that's what the reason for recanting her statement, which was true. That's more Lois Lane. This is just you're creating family drama and also like weakening a female-led character for no reason.
I agree, but I think they need a little bit of conflict to actually showcase her ability um to perform and to do her job effectively, right? So
No, 100% I agree with you. I just feel that like having her keeping secrets and like lying
yeah, that
with
was
her
kind of
piece,
lame.
that's the part that I have a problem with. Because
Yeah.
like I can get past her sister recording her, and that's a betrayal because you're trying to help your sister. So like I can get behind that. But then on top of which, it being proven that like she actually did something dishonest with her piece, and also she's like this big controlling person that like I will save you, no, even if I have to like I don't care what I have to do to save you. I'm like, guys, Lois Lane is smarter than that, and she like it's more of a challenge for having someone that you love and you care about who you actually saved once actually going back voluntarily into doing something like that's real life, and that's also a hard enough thing to go with. You don't need to vilify your character, like weaken the character as you do it.
See, I don't know enough about Lois Lane to really comment on this. So it for me, it didn't come off as something out of the ordinary, but I know that Superman is holds a special place in your heart. So you know more about all of that stuff more so than I do.
I find like this was poor writing for women because it's not like Clark is making those type of mistakes.
This is true. This is very true. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like, and I think, I mean, we addressed this when we were talking about season one, especially. I feel like Lois hasn't really found her footing yet, right? And I
Yeah,
feel like they still don't really know what to do with her.
yeah, and
Uh,
it's obvious.
yeah, and, I don't know. What do you think? Because I know that, like in the comic books, they only have one kid, right?
Yeah, they have Jonathan.
So, do you think that it's a little overcrowded the fact that they have two kids that they have to now focus on? And
Yeah, like honestly, it would have been interesting if it was Connor and Jonathan as opposed to like Jordan and Jonathan.
I see. Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah.
So like if they'd done that, that would have been interesting because at least like there's a character for you to model after,
Mhm.
and like and also sort of thing. So like that would have worked for me. Or hell, like do something interesting where it's twins, where it's like Connor and Kara.
Okay.
Like you have more representation.
Yeah, yeah,
Honestly, like the whole like John Henry, I love John Henry. Don't get me wrong,
yeah.
I love him. His daughter has no characterization. She's literally a walking plot point,
Mm. Yeah, I agree with that.
and it's like, can you the actress? Well, to be fair, it's like being a walking plot point. It's hard for you to like actually have your identity. So like, yeah, of course she's getting annoying. Uh, I will say I like the aspect of Sam Lane jumping at the chance to like train his grandson
Yeah, that was cool.
because like he would love to actually be in charge
Of a
of
Superman.
a Superman. He's like,
Yeah,
yo, I could train a Superman.
yeah,
Okay.
and the fact that I'm sure Jonathan is probably easily able to be manipulated easily, right? So
Jordan.
sorry, Jordan. Yeah,
Yeah,
again,
yeah,
bad with
I
it.
hear
It's
you.
not. It's not
I
just Asian names.
yeah, I just like honestly, this is why I find it so like disappointing. It's like Lois, you literally created a good storyline for her,
Yeah,
and you like screwed it up in the end.
yeah.
And even with Jonathan, where he's like the more sensitive one. Because like Jordan technically is supposed to be kind of the sensitive one, but he's just like, first of all, have you also noticed he lost a lot of weight?
Yeah, he did.
I don't like that because like they were actually showing that like a superpowered person could be someone who is like a normal body type, not a trimmed cut guy. And I actually
Yeah.
like the idea of like a normal body like image of a slightly chubbier kid who actually has superpowers, and like therefore he doesn't need to like work out to like make it seem that way.
Yeah, but maybe that wasn't by choice. Maybe the dude's just as he's growing, he's losing the body fat.
I didn't actually think about that.
Can't help what his body does, man.
Okay, fair enough. If that's what's happening, then I recant my statement.
Are you muscle shaming, bro?
Yo, people should stop working out. It's not good for them.
Oh, man.
All right. Anyway, so yeah, that's just my opinion. I would give this episode like I love the Clark bits, as always. I love the John Henry bits, and I kind of like the Jordan bits, which is surprising for me because I don't tend to like Jordan, and I like the beginning of the Lois stuff, and then that went into drama, and I cannot stand the Lana stuff. Like I don't even want to talk about it.
Yeah, that that shit. I was like, because I was kind of not. I don't really care for that storyline at all. But it didn't really bother me up until the end with the reveal of him, like,
Yeah,
them alluding to the fact that he's having an affair, and I'm like, okay, fuck, this is where they're going with this shit. All
yeah,
right, I'm checked
exactly.
out. So
So
yeah, it's unfortunate that they still have the CW isms sprinkled in here, but I mean, I'm still liking the show enough to
keep watching.
keep watching.
Same.
Like I haven't fallen off the bandwagon like I have with like the Flash.
Fair.
So yeah, but we'll see.
We'll
Still
see.
early.
Yeah. Moving on. So our final topic for tonight is our review of Peacemaker, episode 6. I actually forgot to ask you. You watched episode 6, right?
I did, yeah.
Yeah. Um, I gotta say, I found this to be actually the thing is I don't know what I feel about this episode because like I enjoyed it, but it felt kind of silly, like not good silly, like just like they're being too silly.
Yeah, I kind of felt the same way. I was yeah, I share in that sentiment because I'm like, in the back of my mind after I finished watching it, I was like, okay, there was a lot, there was stuff that was cool that I saw
Yes,
that I was interested
yes,
in, but I don't recall really laughing. Like I was
yeah,
entertained, but I was just like, I they're trying to be funny now, and
yeah.
it's like
That
it's not landing for me quite like it did in the earlier episodes.
I would say the only time I laughed in this episode was when Vigilante went to Peacemaker. He's like, "How do you know my password?" He's like, "Dude, I know my own birthday," and I like that made me laugh because I was like, "Oh, you you took his." Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems like they're regurgitating a lot of the same old jokes in some of them, and so it's getting a
Or
little
doing
bit
it to death.
repetitive. Yeah, they're just yeah, they're beating that dead horse.
Yeah,
Um,
I like, and also like I love John Cena, but like he now gets like a piano solo. Is he
yeah,
auditioning for stuff?
they always give him these like heartfelt moments or like these like solo moments. Like in the first in the first episode after he like had sex with that chick, and
Yeah,
then
and
he
he
had
did
that
that
little
dance sequence.
dance thing, and then I think
Then is like him again doing a dance when he remembers his brother's death.
yeah, it was reminiscing and whatnot, and now this piano solo type thing. So I think they're trying to humanize him a little bit more.
I
But
also feel
I
go on.
yeah, go on.
No, no.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say I feel like they're overdoing it now.
Yeah, like it feels like they're trying to like show up a portfolio of all the skills that John Cena has in terms of acting.
Yeah, yeah.
I will say I did like the Mern. I love Mern. Learn and Leota are literally my favorite characters in this show.
Mm.
And like I like the fact that okay, dude, spoiler warnings for people who haven't watched Peacemaker, just you know, plug your ears or go to the next segment. When Detective Song got killed by that butterfly, that hurt me. I was like, I really liked her.
Yo, but that end scene was
That
fucked
was
up.
fucked
Holy,
up.
and with the menacing smile afterwards. Oh my goodness.
It wasn't menacing. They were trying to learn how to smile within the
Yeah,
body.
but the way it looked though, it
It was fucked
looked
up, yeah.
super menacing. Like it's like you're trying to be genuine, but you just come off super freaky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like that like you said, moments in the episode were really good, but like I think we have like 2 episodes left. I'm really hoping that this is like something that they don't shit the bed with.
I mean, overall, it's a solid show. I mean, I'm liking it more than I thought I would, which
Agreed.
is interesting because
Agreed.
I had no I like I had no intention of ever checking this show out, but I figured, I am a geeky bro. I need to at least give it a chance. And so I did, and I was like, all right, there's enough here to keep me invested
You're
for at
happy you
least a
watched
season.
it.
Yeah, I'm like, I have no regrets. It doesn't feel like a complete waste of time. Um, I probably had a better time. I probably enjoyed it a little bit more than I did this week's episode of Superman and Lois, to be
Oh, I
honest.
definitely enjoyed this more than I enjoyed
Yeah.
Superman and Lois. Like Superman and Lois, I actually would like. There were times I was like this.
Yeah.
With this, I was kind of like,
Yeah. Like it's a step down from like the previous episodes,
yes,
most definitely, but I was never checked out at any moment.
yeah, and I will agree. Like
Yeah.
it's just like I'm starting to see things becoming a little bit more formulaic
Yeah.
and like disingenuous. Like you're beating a dead horse with these jokes, and like
Yeah.
you're trying when
Yeah.
before you were doing, now you're trying.
Yeah. I'd be interested to see this fight though between his dad and him.
Yeah,
I'm curious about like what this dude's all about.
yeah. Oh man. Oh, Mern. Like honestly, this actor, I have never seen this actor. I don't recognize him,
Yeah, I
and
don't
I'm
either.
loving him. Like
Yeah.
he's killing it.
Yeah. I was a little disappointed initially because I was like, oh man, they made him a villain because I was actually starting to like him, and then they definitely kind of flipped the script on that one. But yeah, I'm glad they did it that way.
Yes.
But now, like this whole butterfly thing has me a little confused and also a little intrigued because now I'm like, okay, well, what's their motive? Because we don't really know fully what their intention is.
I think they want to take over the planet because they were saying that this whole like Mern had said that the whole saving the Earth thing
Mhm.
from climate change
Yeah.
has been their main focus,
Mhm.
and like it makes sense. Like if these are like butterfly like creatures,
Mhm.
they're like taking over humanity's leaders
Mhm.
to stop their destruction of global warming.
Mhm.
So like
That's interesting.
maybe like for all I know, they could be like, let's just take over all the bodies and like treat them like puppets.
Yeah. Yeah, it's messed up. It's like body
Yeah,
snatchers.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm good with Peacemaker. Before we end off, however, I do want to like point out to a couple comments that Courtney says. This is going back to our discussions about Miyazaki. Courtney was saying Howl's Moving Castle is the best, though. While I will say that Howl's Moving Castle is not one of my favorites, I know a lot of people love it, but I'm going to wait to get to that for you guys. Also, a heads up, Tales from Earthsea is underrated and no one talks about it. It's made by Miyazaki's son and is a joy to watch. I haven't watched it yet, but I have heard people talking about the Tales of the Earthsea from the Earthsea, so I will give it a try, and maybe if Tactix hasn't been scared away from all the Miyazaki films I've been watching him, he will watch it with me, with
We'll
Darcy.
see. We
We
will
will
see.
see. We will see. All right, T, I'm going to volley you back to you for the close.
Oh, are we done? Was that the last one?
Yeah.
Yes, it was. Okay. Well, this has been another edition of the Geeky Bros podcast. I'm your boy Tactics.
And this
It's your
big
boy
geek
Darcy.
Umar.
Got him again.
Next time you do this, I'm going to just like wait and stare at you. Well, thank you all for watching, and also please like and subscribe, and live long and prosper, y'all. See you next week. And he's making me stare at me.
Anything else you want to say? No, that's it. Just all right. It's a nice room.